you'll notice that we've added to the challenge by, if she would dig her heels into the ball and pick her low back and buttocks up, we added a weight, the weight of her lower half, and we decreased her base of support, and we increased the leverage. The leverage went from being where her pelvis was resting on the ground to her heels, now from the heels to where her trunk is leaving the ground. So easy to make the exercise more challenging by playing with these basic variables. We can play with her base of support from above. Instead of having her hands on the ground, if she picked her hands up so just her elbows were on the ground, her base of support would narrow a little bit more, and you'll notice that it's going to take more control for her to stop the wobbling. And that is going to require more neuromotor control to keep the joints in the mid-range. She could start to bring her elbows up off the ground. Elbows up off the ground. And so now you'll notice what a good job she is doing of trying to control the position, but you can see the wobble occurring. So even though it appears to be a similar exercise, the neuromotor demand has skyrocketed. So then if she was really the finely tuned athlete that she is, she could maintain this position and see, can I start to straighten my knees and bend my knees and control the wobble? Nicely done. So you can see that she's becoming over challenged, so then we would make it easier. She could leave her elbows on the ground and then see if she could roll the ball back and forth. So harder than when her hands were on the floor, but not as hard as when her elbows were off the ground because the base support got a little bit wider. Nicely done. So you can see that we can make it as easy or as hard as we want so that we can adjust the exercise program so it's appropriate for anybody at any skill level. So if we look at advancing this until her point of failure, she could dig her heels in, have her hands on the ground, solidly planted. She's going to pick her low back and buttocks up off the ground and be stable. And then we can narrow her base of support by having her leave her elbows on the ground but pick her hands up. As we demonstrated before, pick her hands, elbows up off the, and then we can say, oh, can you now pick a foot up off the ball? And you can see she makes a nice effort, but she got over-challenged. But it does mean that if she practiced, she could do it eventually. So the idea is going to be, you see that by playing with some basic variables, we can make any exercise so that it's safe and easy for any beginner, and we can make it as hard to challenge any professional athlete. The idea is you just choose wisely, plug in the person where they're going to be challenged but successful, and then know how to adjust it up or down depending on how they're doing.